This is the model for us to learn the embryology of the midgut in the easiest way. You consider this is the umbilical ring opening which will lead on to the extra embryonic coelomic cavity. This is the abdominal cavity of the developing embryo, and as we know that during the development of the midgut, the abdominal cavity is not enough to accommodate all the parts of the midgut. It is going for the herniation through this umbilical ring space. It is called physiological hernia. Since it is happening routine as a normal development of the midgut, and how it is going return back to the abdominal cavity, we are going to see. You consider this red color rod line as a axis artery of the midgut, that is superior mesenteric artery, and as we know, the parts of the GAT developed from the midgut are developed from two parts. With reference to the axis artery, the loop, the developing midgut loop divided into two parts. One is cranial part, this white is cranial part. It is otherwise called as pre-arterial segment. This green is the caudal part, that is the post-arterial segment. This two part is the one demarcation we need to know for the rotation of midgut to understand. As during the development of the midgut, as it is elongating rapidly, the growing coiled loops cannot be able to operate within the very limited abdominal space. It is going for the physiological herniation along with its artery like this. Totally 270 degree, it is going for counterclockwise rotation for the further development and to reach the adult position in the abdominal cavity. As we know, the white is otherwise called as pre-arterial segment, the green is post-arterial segment. Initial 90 degree is happening within this extra embryonic coelomic cavity as a physiological herniation. What happens during that 90 degree counterclockwise rotation? Usually the clock will rotate in this way, but here it is going in the opposite direction. That means the pre-arterial segment, which is cranial initially, it will become right side. Similarly, the post-arterial segment, that is the green colored part, will become the left side one. This is the first initial 90 degree rotation of the midgut. What happens next? During the remaining 180 degree counterclockwise, it is returning back into the abdominal cavity. The second and third rotation will be happening simultaneously. So out of 270 degree rotation, 90 degree we have seen, then remaining 180 degree is happening. While during this rotation, all the midgut loops will enter into the abdominal cavity and retain its original position as like that of the adult one. What happens during that 180 degree counterclockwise rotation? Initially the first part which is entering back, returning back into the abdominal cavity is our jejunum part, that is your pre-arterial segment. The white color, as we are seeing, it is going back in a counterclockwise rotation. So by that, the white color, this part will be future jejunum, will reach the left side of the abdominal cavity. By that it is reaching the adult position. So the jejunum and the coils of the ileum will occupy the left side of the abdominal cavity. Then it is followed by the remaining post-arterial segment retraction. What happens towards this anterior part? This will form the cecal bud. You consider this bud is acting as a axis rod for the post-arterial segment to return back. So the last 90 degree counterclockwise, during that this post-arterial segment again returning counterclockwise and it is reaching the subhepatic region. This is what like this. Then the remaining post-arterial segment will form the transverse colon like this. This post-arterial segment So by that, when it is returning back into the abdominal cavity, this will become the anterior most part over the coils of the small intestine, the cecum will reach the subhepatic region, that is just below the liver. Then it is pulled to the iliac fossa, right iliac fossa. By that the ascending colon is formed by this post-arterial segment. By that the parts of the G8 which is developed from midgut has been developed and reaches its original position.
Super.